What's up guys, Starkid here back with another video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's dive right into this video. Math. Now I told you guys in the last video that I was probably going to make a video on this very soon. And well, soon is right now. The day after. So let's talk about math. By far, I consider most stupidest, not stupidest, well, one of the most stupidest subjects to ever exist. Like ever. Now, yes, I do know math is essential for multiple things such as finance and different professions that you may want to go into in your career, well, not in your career, in your life, such as engineering, rocket scientist, calculating, all that good stuff. But yeah, math. You need it for certain math things, but the certain things that they teach you in school relating to math, it's just plain unnecessary and stupid. Okay. Let me break it down. From years, you start really diving into math in kindergarten, really. I'm pretty sure I remember doing some math in pre-K, but vividly, I can remember doing math in kindergarten. And that's just like basic addition, maybe like count, or it's basically counting, basically. Because you don't really like, in kindergarten, you don't really know all numbers like that. So kindergarten is basically focused on counting and knowing how to say and pronounce numbers. First grade, that's when you like kind of start getting into like actually like teaching like a little by little addition and subtraction. Second grade, a bit about the same thing, but it starts getting a little bit more advanced. Like you basically like 53 plus 20 or something like that. I don't know. I remember pretty vividly how my math went. Then in third grade, that's when it really starts to take off. You start getting into multiplication, it's subtraction, addition, and then it's multiplication. And then in fourth grade, it gets even harder. I remember in fourth grade, that's when they started teaching me division. So at that point, you know subtraction, addition, multiplication, and division. And then in fifth grade, you start learning long division and long multiplication and doing bigger numbers and all stuff like that. And then when you finally get to middle school, all hell breaks loose. You start learning the stuff that makes no sense whatsoever. And those years in middle school, they made absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. And it still doesn't now. I don't even remember the type of math that they taught us in middle school. That's how bad it is. Like, as soon as it hit summer and that grade passed, all the information in my mind that I needed to pass, it was gone. I pretty much failed math in 6th grade anyways. So, I really didn't learn it too much in 6th grade at all. That was the year that it was virtual schooling, so most people didn't learn anything that year whatsoever, but 10 times as worse. But that information goes straight through my mind when it hits summer because it's just not important anymore to me. And that happens with most subjects, to be honest with you. You learn the information, some stuff sticks, but most of the time you're not going to remember almost anything that they taught you, unless it's like really important. It just like happens to stick into your mind. It's just not going to happen. But math in general is something that I'm not going to remember, depending on what you're learning in math. Because in 7th grade and 8th grade, it was getting progressively harder. You start doing some random stuff. I don't even remember what I was really taught in those grades, to be honest with you. I don't even remember that too much. I remember numbers, and numbers. That's literally all I remember. You do percentages in 7th and 8th grade, which you actually do need to learn percentages in life because that involves finances and taxes and discounts and stuff like that. That's actually like, really essential to what you need. So it kind of sucks that didn't stick to me. Either way, I'm gonna have to learn it eventually, which it will re-click to me in life. But yeah, percentages, different stuff like that. But then when you skip to high school, that's when it gets really, really dark. Cause then you start doing algebra. You start learning about jeez, I can't pronounce it. Pythagorean theorem. You learn that really in eighth grade. Eighth grade, maybe late seventh grade. Because you start learning about that. You start learning geometry, which is also one of the most dumbest subjects ever. Because not unless I'm going into some sciencey type profession, or I'm going to be an architect, I really, really don't need geometry. Let's be honest. When am I going to have to calculate the perimeter, diameter, and area of a triangle? When am I going to have to do that? Like, be honest with me. No random person on the street is going to walk up to me and ask me, hey, what's the perimeter of this trial? It's just not going to happen. Unless I'm going to one of those types of professions. It's just not going to happen. And it's really, really slow to me. But, you know, I digress. You start learning about like terms. You start learning about geometry in general, like squares and stuff like that. How to break down two different shapes put together, which is like why would I need to calculate two different shapes combined as one? That's so stupid. You start learning about volume, measurements. Oh, measurements, I forgot to mention that. You start learning about measurements really in second grade, because I remember learning about measurements and stuff in second and third grade, which are very essential, don't get me wrong, for like cooking and stuff like that. But yeah, Scary Mac, you learn about all that stuff. You learn about algebra, you learn about complex equations and expressions and variables, which is dumb. You start getting a bunch of random variables plus that, and you're supposed to use that in the distributive property. Well, when? When? Tell me. Please tell me when. Somebody in the comments, please tell me when I'm going to need that in my life. Please tell me when I'm going to have to subtract and add random variables when my answer is going to end up being b squared x h y minus f h z h to the second power. Like when am I gonna have to? When is that ever gonna pop up in my life? Please tell me now. You should only really learn a certain amount, like basic math. Like you should only learn obviously subtraction, division, multiplication, measurements, stuff like that, percentages. But after you've learned like the really premise of what you'll basically need in life, not unless you like really want to go into a different profession, you should not have to learn math to the level of that stuff like that. You should really not. It's stupid. It's just so unnecessary. They're teaching it for no reason. You're teaching it for no reason. Like, I'm honestly convinced that the people who sat down and wrote the curriculum of like all educational systems were high when they did it or on something. Like, you can't convince me these people who created what we learn in school and all educational systems weren't on some serious hard crack cocaine when they wrote this up. Please tell me. Because there's no way they thought, oh, we're definitely going to have to use this. No. No. It's extremely unnecessary. And I find it very dumb. But yeah, I digress. Once again. Because, yeah. But past that, you really shouldn't have to learn anything. And finance should be mandatory throughout all high school. That's the math you should be learning in high school. Finance and stuff like that. Stuff that you'll actually need. Taxes. How to actually pay your bills. And how sales tax and how all that stuff works. That's what you should be really learning in high school. Instead of learning algebra. Instead of learning geometry. And calculus. And trigonometry. Like, I could go on forever. But this video is kind of running a little bit long. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Maybe another educational system video. Or not. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.